Namaste, friends, and welcome to this special podcast once again. And in this podcast, I'm interviewing a classmate of mine, Ajay Gupta, who did his Chaturmasa the first time this year. Welcome, Sri Ajay. Welcome very to this particular podcast, and thank you for taking this time to share with our audience about your Chaturmasa experience.
No, thank you very much, Rajesh, particularly for initiating me, I would say, on a spiritual path. And Chaturmasa for me was an important practical step in that journey, which with sort of divine grace, I was able to complete successfully. So thank you for that.
Well, we would love to hear that, but before that, would you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, sure. So I grew up, in the 70s and 80s in like what was typically middle class India. I was fortunate to go to BITS Pilani for my undergrad program, and then I went on to be an investment banker. I spent a lot of years advising clients, and I now run a oil and gas business focused on sub-Saharan Africa. On a personal note, I'm married with two lovely children. My daughter goes to university in the UK, and I have a 15-year-old who's doing high school in Delhi.
Nice. So you live in Delhi, right now?
That's right.
Okay, okay. So, you know, I want to start off with the first question, right? Before you started Chaturmasa, what was your view of food, good food and drink in general? Can you share with us, please?
Yes. Food's been sort of very integral to my existence, like lots of us, right? Uh, you know, if you think about it, I mean, our lives at some level sort of revolve around food. You wake up to food and you sleep. You eat before you go to sleep. So it's quite integral. Yeah, coming from, as I was saying, a middle class family, religious family. We ate simple food at home. We were vegetarian growing up. Uh, but as you kind of grow older, over time, I developed a taste for a variety of cuisines
Hmm.
from around the world,
Hmm.
including I began to eat non-vegetarian, which I didn't do as a child. Uh, Similarly, while I was a very tea person in my growing up years, I took up to coffee and appreciating alcohol and wines as well. I have a very sweet tooth, and Indian sweets are in a way my weakness, right? Uh, but my experience with food, Rajesh, has been one of being a slippery slope. I mean, if I like something, I eat it, and if I eat it, I cannot stop, right?
Mm,
And that's been a challenge, and that's kind
mm.
of led to a lot of weight gain, unfortunately. Uh, so in a way, sort of my relationship food is like one of sort of love hate. I enjoy food, but I the consequences are not have not been great, right? So it's been a bit of a difficult balancing act, if you know.
Right, right. So, um, why did you do Chaturmasa? What motivated you? What was the desired expectations for you?
So candidly, I took up this sort of Chaturmasa Sankalp for no particular reason except that a group of friends, including yourselves, as you know, suggested that. It sounded very novel to me,
Hmm.
and just doing it with a bunch of friends, I said, look, why not try this, right?
Hmm.
I had no particular expectations. I did kind of scan the internet to try and understand what this is all about, but I didn't get any particular sort of pointers.
Hmm.
And I was like, let's just do this, and if nothing else, there was curiosity in my mind as to what this means. At a certain sort of subconscious level, I was like, if I do Chaturmasa with the kind of regime that it kind of entails, I thought I can kind of get myself rid of some of the obstinate sort of pounds that refuse to go away, even with all the hard work that you put in the morning in the gym. So yeah, there was a bit of a materialistic goal as well, certainly, but fundamentally it was curiosity, it was novelty, and the fact that a lot of my friends were doing it, so I said, why not?
Fantastic. That's really good. So, you started off with curiosity and in the hope that you can get rid of some sticky pounds. So, can you describe your experience the last 5 months of Chaturmasa. I know that when we started, you thought Chatur was 4, but then unfortunately for you, it seemed to have turned out to be 5. Maybe you want to talk about that as well. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, when we started Chaturmasa, there was a huge amount of excitement, right? And I think everyone was excited, which meant that, you would open your WhatsApp and find sort of a variety of recipes and great looking pictures and dishes. And, the first couple of weeks was like surreal in that sense, right? And very inspirational, right? And,
Yeah.
food was very central to our conversations, right? And it was hard. I mean, the regime is 2 meals a day, and to restrict yourself early on and to do portion control was particularly hard. And I'm somebody who's prone to snacking. So the first 2 weeks, while they were exciting, were also hard in the sense that there were hunger pangs, simply put, right? But that period lasted maybe 3 to 4 weeks. At the end of the month, you pretty much have kind of settled into some sort of a rhythm, right? So you kind of know what you have to do and what you cannot do, right? And and I have to say I was a bit sort of concerned at the end of 1 month, thinking that, look, if I continue with this regime, then what if I kind of start to look and feel weak, right? And my wife was just we discussed it, and I said, look, whatever I do, I'm going to make sure that I don't starve myself, right? So there was that sort of sense check that we had midway. But I have to say that after the first month, it was relatively smooth. I mean, we transitioned from no vegetables to then no yogurt, no milk, and that no milk period was 2 months, like you mentioned.
Yes.
This was like a 5-month thing because of that additional month because of the Purushottama Masa. But it went off particularly comfortably. And I kind of took to eating a lot of fruits. Mangoes was fantastic in July and even in August. But there were dates and there were nuts, and I was snacking in a way, but I was doing healthy snacking, which was a big change from eating sort of fried savories, which is just not done right. I think all of the 4 months went well. I mean, the first 4 months till the no milk. I think the last month I did have a bit of a challenge with the carb heavy diet because I felt bloated, and I have to say I didn't particularly enjoy the last month. In particularly the first 2 weeks of the last month. I think after that I got into some sort of a rhythm with all the suggestions that came through from the group.
Right.
So I think all in all, it was very different from what I had anticipated. I mean, initially there was excitement, but after that it just kind of kept happening, and with all the encouragement from the group, which I think was very important. I have to emphasize, because just having like half a dozen friends doing it sincerely, some faltering, everyone sharing their sort of experience honestly was very helpful, because you realize that it's not just you who's struggling. Everyone had their own sort of share of struggles.
Yes.
I think the other thing which Rajesh, which is very interesting for me, was the whole experience around Ekadashi fasting, which, as you know, is done twice a month on the 11th day of the moon cycle.
Yeah.
And initially I was not even convinced as to why I'm doing this. But the way I handled it was I started with sort of going from 2 meals to 1 meal. Then progressively I went from 1 meal to only fruits.
You mean on the Ekadashi day?
On the Ekadashi day.
Okay.
And then from only fruits to only water. And then I ended on the 26th or 25th of November, which was the last day of the Chaturmasa, which ended with Ekadashi, with a Nirjala, which was without water.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that I managed to do that, which I could never have imagined earlier on,
right,
was personally very, very satisfying. It just kind of made me feel great about it. Right. And I think the other thing which happened, again, something which happened over time, Rajesh, was that, I developed some sort of a dispassion towards food. I mean, I still enjoy my food, but, so for example, I'm home and, we're sharing the same table, and my family is eating everything else that I'm not supposed to eat. And I was completely okay with it. In fact, even on Ekadashi days, I would still sit on the dinner table
Mm.
and be completely fine just sitting and just talking and not
Mm.
eating.
Mm. So,
To me,
so it
that was
look,
success. Yeah.
so looks like the Chaturmasa, the experience seems to have, you said something like I like food, eat, can't stop cycle to like, eat, can stop, and then
Yes,
enjoy eating it. That's interesting.
absolutely.
I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, I think you know, I think the whole fasting piece is another sort of revelation to me, because what it has done is it has helped me to exercise self control at a very different level, right?
Mm.
And a lot of people ask me, why would you fast? Why would you need to kind of control on food? I think there is a important ancillary benefit of fasting, which is it's a way to regularly detox your body, right?
Hmm.
And I like this cycle of doing it every fortnight with Ekadashi, because it's perfect timing. And in fact, there is another sort of aspect that I wanted to point out, Rajesh, which is the fact that I do 2 meals. It allows me to have a 14 to 15 hour period of intermittent fasting. So I eat dinner at 7, I eat breakfast at 10 a.m. in the morning, which means that every morsel in my stomach has been digested fully,
And
right?
intermittent fasting is a big fad these days,
It's a big fad, but
which our ancient people have been saying for the last, ever known time ever known.
Abso- absolutely. I mean, it's not a new concept, and it's something which is integral to the whole Chaturmasa concept of 2 meals a day. So yeah, I mean, a huge amount of learning, and it was enjoyable experience. It was obviously long, but I absolutely loved every part of it.
That's nice. So, I know from our conversations that we started off with food. All of us started off with controlling the food, the type of food that we eat, the quantity of food that we eat for a longer period of time, which is 4 to 5 months. Now, along the process, can you share about your experiences about on the spiritual side? What has happened the moment your attention towards food has you know reduced. uh, has it changed you in some fashion from a spiritual perspective? Has things progressed in a different way that you did not expect that you would progress in that direction?
I think it's a good question. I mean, I think at a more sort of uh, internal level. I mean, other than the fact that this was extremely satisfying, uh, I think one point that I certainly noticed was that I slept well, right?
Hmm.
And because I slept well, I woke up early, and I woke up very fresh and bright. I wouldn't be lazy in the morning most days. I mean, there were some days that you would feel a bit sort of groggy.
Right.
So I think that's an important part. And what I did, Rajesh, was that I got into a rhythm of spending about 90 minutes in the morning doing a combination of meditation, which I was not very good at, but I've certainly initiated the sort of practicing meditation. I would do pranayama. I would do yoga, the asanas. And while doing yoga asanas, I would listen to scriptural commentary
Hmm.
from a variety of gurus. So, one of the popular gurus that we all sort of seem to follow is Swami Sarvapriyananda ji. But again, Swami Paramatmananda ji, who gives lectures on Gita and a lot of other scriptures. I would just listen to one of their talks, which is usually between 50 and 55 minutes.
Right.
Uh, and and I've now begun to absorb them much better. Uh, so I think that's certainly from a spiritual point of view. I am now, earlier it was forced a little bit. Now it comes naturally. I want to listen to them,
Understood. Understood.
right? So
I think
that's kind of that. Yeah.
I think the energies that we were spending on absorbing the food in the body has moved to absorbing the spiritual concept to understand what exactly is life. Would that be a fair statement to say, Ajay? Would you agree or disagree?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Rajesh. I mean, you think about it and you say, why do we eat 3 meals a day? Who started that? I have no idea. I have no idea. And interestingly, I mean, having completed 5 months, I even today I don't feel the need to have a third meal. I still do 2 meals, not because of any particular reason, because my body is comfortable with 2 meals, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think a lot of there are a lot of sort of things that we do without applying a mind as to why we do them. But today, I think a lot of those things are sort of you get new light on these things.
That's right. That's right. And I think, you said it very well. At the end of the day, I just interviewed Mahesh a little while ago, and it was, Mahesh was sharing similar kind of things, 2 meal a day and how it helped him and all that. And, maybe I'm going to repeat one thing, what I discussed with Mahesh there, right? I think, our scriptures say if you eat twice, you are a yogi, and if you eat thrice, you are a bogey and enjoyer. And if you eat 4 times, you are likely to fall sick, a rogi. And if you eat five
Rogi.
times, 5 times in a day, you are a drohi, which means you're eating somebody else's food. So in some sense, it kind of, very nicely summarizes, eat what you want, but don't overeat. First of all, for your own self, and also to take care of the environment and to take care of somebody else. That way, you're able to contribute to the society in a very, very simple, subtle way that you probably don't even realize that the moment you start reducing your own needs, you're actually contributing to the others. I don't know if you agree to that or not.
Absolutely. I mean, in your own small way, and if everyone thinks like that, I think this planet has more for everyone, right? Um, no, this has been sort of, to me, a completely eye-opening experience. It's a way of life in the way I think about it. It's a lot of people think about Chaturmasa as a fast.
Hmm.
It is not a fast.
Yeah.
Chaturmasa is essentially uh, eating sattvic food, good food, and eating it in a disciplined manner. That's all.
Right. Right.
So if anyone is wanting to do Chaturmasa and thinks that this is a fast, it's not a fast. It is how you should be living your life, and how you should be eating the right foods.
Would you call it a discipline rather than a fast?
It is a discipline, absolutely. It's a way of life. I mean, discipline
Right.
also has, it all gets encompassed in this phrase, the way of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So whether it is kind of eating the right food, eating at the right time, saying your prayers, being spiritual, uh, you know, doing the right things as an individual, it's part of that ecosystem.
Fantastic. So, you probably, as you spoke your experiences the last five months, you probably talked about some of the challenges. But for the reader's benefit, can you summarize maybe the top 3 challenges that you faced and how you overcame it in the last 5 months of Chaturmasa? Of course, I understand the first mental problem that you had was you thought Chaturmasa was for 4 months and it became 5 months in 2020.
Yeah.
I understand that part of it, but I would like to hear the other parts.
Okay. So in terms of challenges, I think the first one was more out of changing habits. So I'm prone, as I said, to snacking, particularly post dinner, right? And therefore, to not snack or not be able to snack was hard, because
Mm,
your body craves these things. So I tried to do something different, which is to eat fruits or nuts, or have some buttermilk, just to kind of keep your body satiated early on, and that kind of goes away over time. But that was hard initially, I have to confess. I think the second one was the last month, and I've again talked about that
yeah.
earlier,
Yeah.
Rajesh. I really struggled with a heavy dose of carbs, and uh, I think I know the reason, and I think I'll do it slightly differently next year. But that was a challenge for me. Not having dals, and not having vegetables, and not having fruits, just made it very unbalanced in my sort of
Right.
in
Right.
my
Right.
own system. And I think the last part is probably, it was hard for my wife Charu in a way, because she had to plan for a specific meal for me, in addition for individual preferences that my son has, and my daughter has, and my
Yes.
parents have.
Yes.
So it was one more sort of sort of thing on her sort of
Right.
plate,
Right.
which I think was hard. And I mean, she was supportive all through, but I did feel some sort of a pressure on me to say, look, I'm just kind of burdening her
Right.
for some reason that I'm not sure whether she fully appreciates it or not.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, no, that's nicely said. We all should thank our wives to for having helped us in this. And I know that my wife has also gone through similar kind of troubles, and trying to cook for everybody at home, and a special thing for me.
Yeah,
Likewise, Mahesh's wife Sudha, she did an amazing job of getting the right kind of foods for him, and on a large sort of
I know.
offering, which we all enjoyed the photos what he posted. Of course, sad that we couldn't eat some of the food what it was prepared, and it's absolutely right. And the other thing that I wanted to ask you was. Um, Maybe the last question to move into the next part of the conversation, right? So you started off this time Chaturmasa, and you did it for the first time, and if you were to tell somebody else, okay, someone who
Hmm.
is inquisitive, who was curious like you, okay, what will be the top three recommendations for a person? First of all, why would you want them to do Chaturmasa, and what will be your top three recommendations for them to consider doing this?
Right. So, the first thing I would say is that, as I've said before, that it is less about food and it's more about developing a contemplative mind, right? So you moderate desires, you move towards a sense of being contented, right? And if you look at sort of what is your path to spiritual growth, what do you need to achieve that? You need to control your mind, you need to control your senses, you need titiksha, which is forbearance, and you need to have a certain dispassion to the material things in life, including food,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Chaturmasa is a great practical way of going down that path,
Mm, mm,
right?
mm,
Because you experience all of those aspects of spiritual sort of growth
mm,
when you do Chaturmasa. So that's an important element, right?
mm.
The second, and therefore, what I would say is that, and it's very hard to understand what I just said unless you actually experience it.
Yeah, that's the point, right? Because I was thinking, from a person, most of us, food is very central to our thing. Hedonism,
Correct.
especially food-related hedonism, is so strong, inbuilt in us. How would you motivate someone to say, "Hey, listen, there's a different way of doing things in life." How would you do that?
Precisely. And so, I mean, while what I just said is somewhat might be somewhat sort of abstract for a lot of people, I think the key point for me is that, which is exactly what I did. Just go ahead and do Chaturmasa.
Mm,
Do it with a group of friends, family, like-minded people, because that will kind of keep you motivated and engaged, right? But just do it. And I can assure anyone who wants to do Chaturmasa, having done Chaturmasa, you are not going to regret it. Okay, so
fantastic.
that's kind of that's an important point. I think the second thing about Chaturmasa is that please understand that this is not like a fad diet where you would do it for like 3 days or 7 days or whatever, right? This is a long 5 month, 4 to 5 months. This year was 5 months. Usually it's 4 months, and so therefore this is not a sprint, it's a marathon,
Right.
right? So approach it like you would be playing a test match rather than playing a T20 innings,
Good
right?
analogy
It's
there.
slow, it's slow and steady. It requires perseverance, it requires discipline. You've got to listen to your body. You've got to look for bespoke sort of solutions as you go along. uh, you know you have to adapt along the way, and most importantly, you've got to enjoy the journey. If you don't enjoy it, it'll be a real pain, right?
Right. Right.
So your mindset has to be one of you know uh, it being a long process, and therefore it's not something which is there today and gone tomorrow, right?
Understood.
And I think the last part I would say is that whatever you do, there is no rule here. You set
Mm,
your own rules, right? A lot of you will start with saying, okay, I can't do this, I can do that, but that's only a framework.
right.
I think you've got to set your own rules based on what your understanding is of your body mind complex,
Of
right?
our own personal
And
circumstances.
absolutely. And you could be in a situation where you can't get certain kinds of foods, or you don't have help, or you're living by yourself, whatever be your circumstances, right? And therefore, just be honest with yourself. Just make your own plan, be honest with it, and be mindful. If it is not working well, change it. It's
Right.
absolutely fine if you do it
Right.
mindfully.
Right.
So there are no rules. All the rules are your own. And
Right.
therefore, if there is somebody that you're answerable to when you do this, it's yourself.
Right. That's nice. Well said. I think all of us were very inspired by VP Rajesh, diligent posting about his spiritual goals every month and how he was tracking it, and we also started doing that, and that is pretty nice. Do you have any comment on that in terms of how you tracked your spiritual goals and how you started putting together the discipline, the titiksha within yourself?
I think writing down goals like VP did, and some of us also followed that approach, was that when you write down something, a goal, not just in Chaturmasa, but even in your personal life,
Hmm.
you then become accountable to it yourselves,
Beautiful.
right? And so, for example, I set out some very simple, easy goals, if you will. I said I'm going to, meditate every day, or do yoga every day, or walk a certain distance every day. Uh, and because I had written it down for myself, I actually kind of did that. So I had said to myself, I'm going to do, 7 kilometers a day. I
Right.
ended up doing 10 kilometers on average every day.
Fantastic.
Uh, and 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 so I think having goals in your mind versus writing it down, and what we also did, if you recall, Rajesh, we shared it with each other.
Yes, we
So
made
at
the
some
we're accountable now.
yeah, and in a way, sort of, I mean, not that you're accountable to anyone, but it just helps that you're kind of sharing it with others, and
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
motivates you in
Yeah.
your own way.
Yeah.
So I think, to me, goals were great. I mean, were very helpful, actually. It just
Hmm.
made me more committed to it. And yeah, I mean, I think I have kind of pretty much managed to achieve everything that I set myself to do. I think I lost more weight than I would have liked to,
Yeah.
but it'll come back, I know. So I'm not worried about it. Yeah,
Right.
that's a good part of it. But I think one other thing which has happened, Rajesh, I wanted to share with your audience is that I have been going through this recurring lower back aches
Mm-hmm.
for a very long time, and
Mm-hmm.
I would have it for 3 or 4 days a month.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely painful. I would need to take painkillers. I would be miserable for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
uh, in the 5 months of Chaturmasa and beyond, I've had it only twice.
Wow.
Both times I recovered very quickly without medication,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
And I attribute that partly to my food habits, partly to my yogasana,
Mm.
uh, and partly also to my sort of mind space being more relaxed.
Attitude change.
My attitude changed. So I fingers crossed. I hope it continues that way.
Right.
But I think, to me, this was an important uh, benefit, if you will,
Mm. Mm.
which I had not even expected, but I'm quite pleased about it.
No, Ajay, you're absolutely right. I just interviewed Mahesh, and Mahesh was telling me about the reflex problem that he had and how it got solved, and also the calf muscle problem, the chronic problem what he had. And in my own personal case, I think I've shared with all of you in the group. Because of the constant usage of mouse and computers, I had this the RSI problem. My hand. Right shoulder movement is totally restricted, although I'm a yoga, regular practitioner of yoga for the last 30 years, and I teach yoga as well, but it's restricted. But in the last 1 month, I'm able to, the freedom of movement has changed from, it used to be, let's say, 10% freedom of movement, whatever that this ball and sprocket joint could give. Now it has moved to
Mhm.
95%. I still have a little
Wow.
pain, but it has moved to 95%. Doing namaskar with the hands in the front is very easy for everyone, but there is a yogic way of doing namaskar where you do it with your hands at the back, on your back. I could never do that in the last 1 year or so because of this shoulder pain. Now I'm able to do it. And all I can say is that the moment we are able to eat food that is um, restricted in quantity, what you need, not that you eat less, but also the right type of food, the body automatically adjusts. And some of those pains or discomforts, or what they call it as ama in Ayurveda, which is the mal in Hindi, right?
Yes.
The bad things in the body, or they just vanish, and that gives rise to health. So Before I ask you one last question, I had one other question. So, at the end of first month, you and your wife discussed, okay, am I going to lose more weight? Am I going to get more weekend and all that? So, and as you progressed, things change. So, um, did you do you feel comfortable that to think about food right now, saying that, okay, it looks like we were actually overeating at one point of time, and maybe the first month, the discussion what you had with your wife was a sort of from a previous mindset, and now you actually have a slightly different mindset with respect to the quantity of food and the quality of food what you eat.
Completely, Rajesh. I mean, earlier, I think it was a mindset issue because you just felt that because I'm eating less, what might happen to me. And when you talk to people about the fact that you're doing chaturmasa because you go out and you say I'm not going to eat
Right.
because this is what I'm doing,
Right.
people would say, people would kind of put that fear, what's wrong with you? Why
Correct.
would you do something like this? That's
Correct.
very radical.
Correct.
So you get some sort of what I call self doubts, right?
Right.
And I think you're absolutely right. It was a legacy of the previous lifestyle, right? Which was playing in my mind. And I have to say, I think I think you and I kind of also exchanged some messages on this front in the group. I think that's something which I cannot emphasize enough.
Right.
Having people who are doing this with you with the same purpose, with the same thought process, because I am convinced that I wouldn't have been able to do this. Obviously, with the support of my family and my wife, of course, but also with all the sort of encouragement and the guidance and the support, because you would have like an occasional frustrating day, right?
True.
And that would put you down some days.
Yeah.
But then just talk to the group and just understand there were other people who were going through similar experiences, and you learn from that.
Right. No, that's great. Well said. So, Ajay, I think we're coming to the top of the hour now. Thank you so much for your time. One last question for your audience. So, Chaturmasa 2021, would you do it?
Absolutely, just kind
Would
of
you?
without any doubt, I would do it. And I can share Rajesh, that even after the Chaturmasa, I am continuing to be on a 2 meal a day diet.
Nice.
And what I'm doing is very simple, which is I'm just trying to avoid all the tamasic food. So I'm not eating any chilies. I'm restricting myself from things like onions, and in general, I'm refraining from eating any processed food.
Right.
And I feel like because I don't want it to be a chaturmasa to chaturmasa thing.
Right.
I want it to be a regular thing.
Understood.
So I obviously I'm not practicing chaturmasa in these other sort of 7 or 8 months, but I'm adjusting my lifestyle in a way that the chaturmasa way of life becomes a real way of life, right? But to your question on 2021, absolutely, and I would love to have more people on our group who can join us, and we can benefit from their sort of experiences and learnings. All in all, it's been a massive learning experience, and as I said earlier, to anyone who wants to do chaturmasa, don't think, just do it. The experience will make you want to do it another time again.
Absolutely. And I know after we published VP's podcast, I think we had a couple of people already join in to kind of soak into the 2021. And I'm hoping that more people will figure out that this Chaturmasa is not something which is a fad. It is a way of life. And if we are able to adopt this as a way of life, like what you rightly said, Ajay, I think it's going to be fantastic for everyone. And I would thank you for all the thoughts that you have shared. And I'm really hoping that our readers will be encouraged, our listeners will be encouraged by your experiences from where you were and how you got transformed, and how now you think that this is the way of life going forward for you. I really want to thank you for your thoughts. Congratulations to you and to your for having done this 5-month Chaturmasa this year, and thanks to all your thoughts on this particular podcast. Thank you so much, Ajay. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Rajesh, and I have to thank you as well for your encouragement, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak about this.
Thank you so much. Thank you.